Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know, guys. Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know, guys. No issues. Audio is not good. Is audio a problem with everybody? No issues. Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay. So, first of all, my health is fine. Actually, I had a holiday from office today, so I kept on sleeping up till 7. I missed the first boot camp because I was sleeping actually. I usually don't get holidays from the office. That's the reason why I was not able to take up the boot camp early on. I just woke up right now itself, and that is the reason why I am looking like this. So, no issues in that. I will be taking up the class tomorrow on itself. Okay. So, okay. So that once that has been done, yesterday I had asked you a question related to which example did Shaurya use to explain variables. The answer, as you are able to see, apparently was programmers in Bangalore. So, out of all these people, these 4,384 people will be given the attendance. Okay, because it was the first day, that is the reason why. Otherwise, if I am being frank, people who have filled the attendance after the like 9 o'clock won't be given the attendance from today onwards. Like whatever the boot camp gets over, whatever time the boot camp gets over, after 20 minutes of that, the attendance thing will be closed. Again, there will be another question like this in today's attendance sheet as well. So that is the reason why I'm telling you guys, these people who have filled up programmer in office, programmer in Delhi, programmer in Goa, all these answers, the students who have answered this won't be getting the certificates. In that as well, the names, okay, that are repeated. So for example, some people have shown a very whatever the case is, we'll make sure that these guys are not getting the certificates itself, and their attendance for yesterday is null and void. For today, whatever the question I will be asking, whatever the attendance sheet will be there, you have to fill it up immediately 15 minutes to 20 minutes after the boot camp is over. If you're not able to fill up the attendance form till then, the attendance form will be closed after that. So you guys are live, so I hope so that you guys will be able to fill the attendance form on time. Okay. Okay, so great. Now that has been completed. Can you guys let me know what have you studied in our yesterday's class? Please let me know, guys. Can you guys let me know what have we studied in our yesterday's class, guys? You studied like we were around variables itself. Okay, so no issues in that. We completed a basic example of variables yesterday. So we'll be continuing from right over there, guys. I'll be opening a Google Colab, reconnect to the server. So it says reconnecting me to the server itself. We will be starting off with multiple assignment operator. Now there will be various topics that I will be including here while I'm teaching you guys, that will be new to you as well. So some of the topics will be new to you for some of the people, and these type of topics are usually not covered when it comes to like courses or something like that. These are the topics that I have learned from reading books on Python. So if you guys are interested in like getting a good book to understand Python itself, there's a good book on Python. Let me remember the name. Just a second. Python. No. Yeah. Automate boring stuff with Python. Okay. So for those guys who are interested in like learning from a book or something like that, you can download this book, Automate the boring stuff with Python. Amazing book, man. Amazing book. Let me just show you the image. This is the image of the book itself. If you guys want to download this book, you can go to pdfdrive.com. You can just go to pdfdrive.com and you can search for the book right over here. Any book that you want to read, you can download it from right over here itself. So let me just search AUTOMATE, automate the boring stuff with Python. So as you're able to see, we are able to get the book from right over here, and this is the most downloaded book as well. So this is from 15 version. Just look at the version that you're downloading, and you can learn Python and make some awesome projects using this book as well. So for those who are interested in learning a little bit more in Python, they can of course use this book. Books are always better than courses. I feel that personally, because I have learned everything that I have learned through books, and there's a lot more information that you can gain through books itself. But yeah, that's totally up to you. Not everybody likes to read books as well. Okay, so let me just open up the live chat and let's start with our today's class itself. Give me a second, guys. I'll just open up the live chat. Yeah, I'm getting a Zomato ad on my phone. Just a second. Okay, so Apurva Saini, first of all, DevTown organizes these boot camps for free. So it is not my if I'm not well, so I cannot take up the boot camp. Today I just slept, so I was not able to take up the boot camp. Tomorrow I will be taking up the boot camp. See, it's not that I'm running DevTown as a part-time thing itself. I do not work in DevTown. DevTown is a non-profit organization. I don't earn anything from this. I do this because I like teaching, and because I want students like you to get access to a platform like DevTown where you are able to grow yourself for your future. So it's not that I'm getting something from this, except the fact that yes, I like teaching, and this is a place where I can openly do whatever I want to do. Because I don't, it's not like my job and I have to report to somebody. I'm the person who runs the entire thing. So I don't have to like deal with this stuff. You need to understand one thing, that yes, the day 7 will happen tomorrow. Due to some reason, due to my health issues, I was not able to take up the class until now. And today, because I slept, I had put up the alarm for 6 o'clock, but I didn't wake up. My phone died. That is the reason why I was not able to take up the class. But no issues in that. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock, by any means necessary, I will be taking up the class. That is my promise. Anyhow, whatever the case is, even I've told Susie as well that even if you have to kill me, but wake me up. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. I will try my best that you guys are not suffering due to that. Okay, I'm able to understand that every day you cannot sit at 6 o'clock waiting for the class itself. No issues. Tomorrow I will deal with it. Okay. Okay, so let's continue from right over here. So multiple assignment operator. Suppose you are making a program wherein you have to enter the dimensions of a tank and get the volume of the tank as an output. So you are entering into the width, the length, the height of the tank. Okay, so a tank is like a cuboidal tank that is there. Okay, you are entering the height, the width and the length of the tank itself, and in return you are getting the volume of the tank as the output. So to calculate the volume, you just multiply length into width into height, and that is how you get the volume. So to write that as a code, like in a code like structure, you will be writing, okay, so height is equals to 3, length is equals to 6, width is equals to 2. Okay, so you are having height is equals to 3, length is equals to 6, width is equals to 2 right over here, and then you are calculating volume. That is another variable that you're creating. Volume is equals to height into length into width. Okay, so if we are running this particular line of code and you are printing out volume, you are able to get 36. Okay, you are able to get 36 on your screen right over here. Now what to do in this particular case? Now, one of the best things with Python is that it helps you shorten the code. Okay, like there are many tips and tricks in Python that helps you shorten the amount of code that you're writing. For example, one of these examples on how you can shorten this code is by using a multiple assignment operator. So right over here, you are assigning 3 to height, 6 to length, 2 to width, and so on and so forth. So in the case of calculating the volume, what you can do is you can just write it out. Instead of writing it as height is equals to 3, length is equals to 6, width is equals to 2, I can just write it as HEIGST height, comma, LENGTH length, comma, length, comma, WIDTH width, okay, is equals to 3, comma, 6, comma, 2. Okay, so as you're able to see right over here, instead of writing the exact, like you were having your let's say the declaration, okay, initialization and declaration of these variables that you are doing right over there, you're doing it in the same line. So using 3 lines of code, you are writing the exact same thing in just 1 line. Here what is happening is 3 will be assigned to height, okay, 6 will be assigned to length, and 2 will be assigned to width, and this is called as multiple assignment operator. We will be coming back to multiple assignment operator when we'll be learning about tuples, but right now we are just using this right over here. Okay, Sahaj Malhotra, you will be able to know the answer for that question if you were on time in the boot camp. So if you're not coming on time, do not ask questions as well. Okay, so as you're able to see, if I am running this particular line of code once again, then you are able to get 36 as your answer. You are able to get 36, the exact same thing as your answer. But instead of writing the exact code in 3 lines, you are doing it in 1 line itself. Are you guys able to understand multiple assignment operator? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand multiple assignment operator? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand multiple assignment operator? Please do let me know, guys. Okay, great. So let's move on to the next particular topic, guys. Okay. You can use this when you are assigning closely related variables such as height, width, length, or coordinates such as X, Y, Z. So although you can use this for any purpose necessary, but usually we as programmers use multiple assignment operators only in the case when like there is a need, okay, when the variables that you are going to assign are closely related to each other, that is they are based on the same metric system itself. For example, XYZ coordinates, or height, length and width, or longitude and latitude, okay, all these different things that are closely related to each other, okay, that is how you are going to, that is where you are going to use the multiple assignment operator. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Good. Okay, so let's move on to the next particular part, guys. I wanted to ask you something. I had already shared the notes with you. I've already told you guys that, okay, this is how you open it up in Google Colab. Did you guys try to solve the tasks, try to solve the to-dos that I've given to you guys in the sheets yesterday after the class, guys? You try to do that. Like, see, if you are just coming to the class, listening to me, okay, seeing me code, okay, seeing me talk, do some bakchodi right over here, that is not going to help you guys. Okay, that is not going to help you guys. Programming is all about how much you are able to practice. Okay, how much you are able to practice. So even if you have not done yesterday's, like whatever to-dos that were there yesterday, right now as well, one to-do just crossed us. Okay, so please try to do it. I've already provided you guys with the expected output so that you guys do not have to suffer. Okay, you guys know about it itself. So please try to make sure that you guys are actually practicing it, because coding is all about practice. Okay, just getting the certificate and then going into an interview and not being able to answer any stuff isn't going to help you. Okay, that will mean that the certificate is fake. Okay, if you are going into an interview, even though you have a certificate, somehow you arrange the certificate, okay, and you go into an interview, you show the certificate, and then the interviewer starts asking you questions related to that topic, and you're not able to answer him, immediately all your certificates become fake, and you're not going to get selected for that particular company. So try to make sure that you are practicing as well. I'm just suggesting something to make sure that you are able to upskill yourself. Okay, try to do that, guys. Okay, great. Now, when it comes to variables, we saw that every variable, we assign some name to that variable itself. So every variable has some naming convention that we need to follow, some rules and regulations for giving the name of a variable. And if you're not following these rules, your code will not work properly. Okay. your code will not work properly. Okay, so right over here, as you are able to see, these are some of the 6 rules that exist for naming a variable. We are going to look at these 6 rules itself. So let me go back to the paint board and let me try to make you guys understand this. Okay. So please explain how to get notes. I've already explained it twice yesterday, so I won't be wasting any more time today itself. Okay. Okay, great. So let's continue from right over there. So let's assume that your variable name is rent. Second. Sir, I got the data structures and algorithms C++ certificate from DevTown, but not from Google and Microsoft. B. Vikrant, we have already sent out all the certificates. There shouldn't be any problem. Please check your spam emails. I've already told you twice. So if you have not got the certificates, you have to email it to hr@devtown.in, and from there the things will be resolved as you move further. Okay. No issues in that, Lina. Yamul, I think I have been able to help you guys out. That is more than sufficient for me. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, what was I doing? Yeah, let's assume that the rent is our variable name. And dividing this particular word into 2 separate parts. Okay, one is the first letter of the variable name. Okay, first letter of the variable name, and the second is the rest of the variable name itself. I'm dividing the variable name into 2 separate parts. The first letter of the variable name and the rest of the variable name itself. So the first letter of the variable name can be small a to z, capital A to z, and an underscore. Okay, I hope that people know what an underscore is, not an hyphen, an underscore. For those who don't know what an underscore is, please just Google search for it. Okay, and then for the rest of the word, okay, so for the rest of the variable name, we will be having, where is my writing? Not able to see my pen itself. Yeah, for the rest of the variable name, we will be having small a to z, capital A to z, 0 to 9, and an underscore. So the first letter of the variable name cannot contain a number. The first letter of a variable name can be an underscore, can be capital A to Z, small a to Z, but not a number. But the rest of the variable name, that is ENT, the rest of the variable name can have a number, can have a small a to Z, can have a capital A to Z, and can have a 0 to 9 as well. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Let me just cross check whether the certificates for the data structure algorithms have been sent or not. Give me a second, guys. Let me check whether the certificates for data structure algorithms have been sent or not. Manisha, has the certificates for data structures and algorithms and C++, the Google and Microsoft have been sent? The students that attended the boot camp. Microsoft and Google as well, right? Huh. According to the attendance itself. Okay. Okay. And if somebody has a problem with the certificates that they have not received it or something, to which email they have to email it? Certificate, not S, just certificate, singular. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, no issues in that, guys. For those who have any doubts, any queries, they have not received the certificate, whatever the case is, along with the attendance proof, please send an email to certificate@devtown.in. Okay, not certificates, not plural, singular. Certificate@devtown.in. Whatever concerns that you are having, along with proof. Do not send like I don't receive certificate. Along with proof, every attendance that you're filling up, you receive an email as well. So along with proof, send up screenshots and everything that yes, I have 7 days of attendance. I have filled it on a time itself. Send it to certificate@devtown.in. Whatever your concern is, that will be solved right over there. Okay. And please do not disturb the class like this. If you are having any problem, we have given you guys the support and everything right over there. So please do not disturb the class. Okay, it affects the other students as well. Okay, so let's continue from right over there. Are you guys able to understand this? The first letter, okay, I've divided the entire variable name into the two parts. The first letter of the variable name, okay, and the second part is the rest of the variable name itself. Are you guys able to understand this? That the first letter of the variable name can be small a to z, capital A to z, or underscore. The rest of the variable name can contain small a to z, capital A to z, 0 to 9, and an underscore as well. The variable name cannot contain any kind of special characters. It cannot contain, like, for example, at the rate, or hash, or star, or caret, or anything like that. All these special characters is not allowed inside of a variable name itself. Okay, so please keep that in mind as well while naming a variable name. So as you're able to see, the first rule states you should start a variable name with an alphabet or an underscore character. We have already done that. Then a variable name can only contain capital A to Z, small a to z, 0 to 9, and an underscore. You cannot start the variable name with a number. You cannot use special characters with variable names such as dollar, percent, hash, and percent, at a rate, hyphen, or caret symbol. Okay, so all these different rules we have already discussed right now. Now comes the fifth rule. Variable names are case sensitive. Okay, variable names are case sensitive. Okay, my DSA certificate contains wrong spelling of the name. I emailed on the email you mentioned, but no one responded. What should I do now? That we cannot handle it. Okay, that is something that we cannot do because we don't have any way of verifying what name you have put up on this. Like, the certificates are an automatic process. So when you are, whatever spelling that you have put up on the like attendance sheet, that is the only like spelling that we'll be putting on the certificate as well. So if there is a spelling mistake, that is you have made an error, not us. So we are not going to resolve that. Okay. You have to keep in mind that when you are filling the attendance form, you have to be very particular with what you are filling up right over there, because that will affect your certificates. You're spelling your own spelling of your own name. If you're putting it wrong, then what can we do about it? Okay. Okay. So right over here, as you're able to see, variable names are case sensitive. So what do I mean by that? Okay, so you are having small str. Okay, so you are having small str, you are having capital STR, you are having capital S, small t, small r, you are having small s, capital T, small r. All these will be considered as different variable names. All these will be considered as different variable names, guys. Okay, so that is what it means by your case sensitive language. That is what it means by case sensitive language. What is the operator for square root? Okay, so for those students who are asking this particular question, there are two ways to answer this. Either you haven't studied mathematics or you have no logic at all. I've already taught you guys about the square function. Okay, not the square function, basically the exponentiation function. That is the asterisk symbol. Okay, so if I'm writing 2 asterisk 0.5. Okay, what does this mean? That is a square root function. Okay, that is square root of 2. For those who are asking this particular question, first of all, see, programming is something that nobody can teach you. One of the things with programming that you have to learn is you have to learn how to Google stuff as well. Googling is one of the required attributes when it comes to programming, how to Google stuff. So if you are having questions like these, okay, like how to find the square root or something like that, Google it, or else just apply logic. Whatever I'm teaching you guys, on the basis of that, I'm giving you the questions. Okay, so I have taught you something that can be used right over there to find the square root. You have to identify that. Okay? Hey, Vivek, I do. No, I cannot do that. I cannot pin the link for attendance. Okay, let's continue from right over there, guys. The next particular rule that we are having is do not use reserved keywords as a variable name. For example, keywords like class, for, def, del, is, else, stripe, form. You cannot use that as a variable name, because these are reserved keywords in Python. These words have some special meaning in Python. For example, you cannot use the word print as a variable name. Okay, you cannot use the word print as a variable name because it has some special meaning in Python. Now, many people will be asking me that, so how do we know that this particular word has a special meaning in Python or not? Usually Python will highlight that word if it has a special meaning in it. For example, right over here, if I am trying to use for as a variable name, if I'm trying to use for as a variable name, you are able to see that it has been highlighted in purple. It has been highlighted in purple or pink, whatever the color is. I'm not able to identify that. But it has been highlighted by Python. So that means that it has some special meaning in Python itself. And slowly and steadily, the more that you start coding, the more that you start learning, you will come in terms with the different variable, the different reserved keywords that are present in Python. Okay. Okay, so right over here, let's move on. We are having x is equals to 2. So these are some of the like valid variable names. Okay, so x is equals to 2, y is equals to hello, my Python, my underscore Python, my Python 7. All these are like acceptable variable names itself, guys. Next, you're having variable names that are not allowed. So 7 my Python. Okay, so that is like you cannot start a variable name with a number. Hyphen my Python, you cannot contain a hyphen within like a variable name. My py @thon, you cannot contain a special character like @ inside the variable name. My space Python, you cannot contain a space inside the variable name itself. That does not make any sense. Okay, for is a reserved keyword in Python. So all these type of like if you are like writing these type of codes, okay, and if you're trying to run this part of the code itself, you will get an error saying that it's a syntax error. Now, what do you mean by syntax? Okay, what do you mean by syntax? It's getting you syntax error, invalid syntax. Just like in English, you are having something that is called as grammar. Okay, if you are not following the proper grammar, I really don't know how to talk in English itself, or how to write in English, or how to like read English itself. So that will cause a lot of issues with understanding the meaning behind a particular sentence if you don't understand the proper grammar of the sentence itself. The same thing goes on in programming as well. So programming has some rules, some grammar behind it that we call it as syntax. If you're not writing the program according to the syntax, according to the rules that have been defined right over there, you will get errors, okay, in your code. The code wouldn't work properly, okay, and that is what is called as a syntax error, guys. Okay, now there are two types of things that exist in the entire world: rules and conventions. Okay, there's a huge difference between the two. Now, a rule is that I cannot kill another person. I cannot kill another human being. That is the rule. If I break this rule, I will go and end up in jail. Okay, but it's a convention that whenever you are eating from the plate itself, you should use spoon or fork or your hand itself to eat, and you should not eat like a dog. You should not just take up a plate or a bowl, put your head inside it and start eating like a dog itself. You shouldn't do that. Now, even if I do that, even if I just put my head inside a bowl and start eating like a dog, nobody is going to throw me into jail. Okay, I'm not breaking any rules, but everyone will be calling me a bad human being. Like I'm not a human and I'm an animal. That is what they will be saying to me, because I broke a convention, not a rule. Okay, when you break a rule, you end up in jail. When you break a convention, people call you a shitty human. Okay, the same thing goes on in the programming world as well. For example, naming a variable, the rules that we learned right over there, if you're not following these 6 rules, your code wouldn't work properly. Your code will throw errors at you. You will be sent to jail. But there are some conventions that have been set up by the programming community in general. Okay, by the programming community in general, that if you're not following these conventions properly, then you will be termed as a shitty Python programmer, a noob, a newbie, a beginner level person. Okay, so that is what these conventions are. These conventions are something that it takes years to figure out, because most of the people don't teach you guys these conventions that are there. But nevertheless, I will be telling you guys about 2 of these conventions related to naming a variable itself. Okay, so although if you're not following these conventions, your code will still work properly. There will be no issues with your code or something like that, but you will be called a noob in Python programming, okay, in general. So that is the main case with that. Okay. Okay, so right over here, the first convention that I want you guys to understand is try to keep the name of the variable short, okay, but descriptive. It needs to be short but descriptive. For example, if you are taking in the input of the height of a tree, okay, if I want to take in the input of a height of a tree itself, okay, then what should be the appropriate variable name? It shouldn't be x or h, because it's too short. It's short. Okay, x and h, just having variable name as x or h is short, but it is not descriptive enough. What is this x? What is this h? I'm not able to understand that. Having a variable name like height underscore of underscore the underscore tree is descriptive. I'm able to understand it. Okay, that okay, this is for the height of a tree itself, but it's not short. It's way too long. The appropriate variable name should be just height or height underscore tree. That's it. Height or height underscore tree. These are short but descriptive enough as well. Okay, for example, now when to choose height underscore tree. For example, if you are making an application that just takes in the height of a tree itself and no other object, then you know that that particular height that you're taking in will be for a tree, then you can just specify height right over there. But if you are creating an application which is going to take in height of different objects, then having a better variable name would be height underscore tree, to identify that okay, we are taking the height and that too of a tree itself. Now choosing between these two will be totally up to you. It will be your personal judgment. But x or h if you are using, or height underscore of underscore the underscore tree if you are using, then you are a shitty Python programmer. Okay, then the next particular thing, the Pythonic way of naming the variables is to use all the lowercase letters and underscores to separate the word. Okay, this is called a snake case. Okay, you must have heard about camel case, you must have heard about other cases as well. This is called a snake case, where there is no capital letters in the entire variable name, and whatever words that are there in the variable name, you're separating them by underscores. For example, right over here, my underscore height, there is no capital letter, and my and height are two separate words, so it has been separated by underscore. Okay, my underscore lat, my underscore long. These are the Pythonic way of naming a variable. Okay, these are the Pythonic way of naming the variable, and this is basically called as snake case. Okay, why it has been adopted? Because Python, snake Python. That is one of the reasons why it has been adopted. In Java, the appropriate variable naming way is using camel cases. In other languages, there are other ways of naming a variable itself. So nevertheless, we are not considered with that. We don't want to learn that as well. We want to focus upon Python right over here. Okay, the non-Pythonic way of naming a variable, let us remove this. We don't want this. Okay, for example, all of them are capital letters. My lat, okay, it's not been separated. You are having capital letters right over there. So although if I'm running this particular line of code, it will work. There is no issues in that. You will not get an error. But this is not the Pythonic way of naming a variable. So you're breaking a convention right over here. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. You guys have any questions up till here? Please do let me know. Do you guys have any questions up till here? Please do let me know, guys. Good. Let's continue with what we have. Okay. So now let's see. We are going to have, let's say we are writing rent is equals to 1,700. So what we are doing right over here is we are creating a box called as rent. We are putting 1,700 inside of it. Now in the next particular line, we are writing rent is equals to 2,000 rupees. What we are doing is we are taking out 1,700 rupees in our hand. We are throwing it off to the bag. We don't know where it lands. We are putting 2,000 rupees back inside the box. Okay. Now the value that is contained within the box is 2,000 rupees, and that 1,700 rupees that was there inside the bag, now that is lost. Okay, to us, that is lost to us. This is called as overwriting the variable. Okay, you are able to see the spelling as well. For those who are not able to understand what I'm speaking, it's overwriting. Okay, that is when a new value is assigned to a variable, the old value is forgotten. Okay, now all these technical terms, these are definitions. You need to learn them. Okay, when you are sitting in a technical interview, you have to use these technical terms. You cannot say that okay, I assigned one value to a variable, then I changed the value to a variable. You have to use words that have overwritten the value of the variable itself right over here. So these type of technical terms is something that you have to use in the interview process. All the things that I'm teaching you guys, most of it can be removed while learning Python just as a language itself. But because I'm teaching you guys from the perspective of an interview preparation sort of structure, so I'm including all these type of stuff as well into the camp, so that you guys in the future, when you are preparing for an interview, you know that these are the technical stuff, technical terms that you have to use. Okay. Let's say that you had an awesome crazy party at your home, at your rented house, and you damaged some property or some bulbs or something like that. So the landlord says that, okay, this month, along with the rent, you have to pay 700 rupees in fines as well. So your new rent will be, so your rent was earlier on 1,700 rupees. It was upgraded to 2,000 rupees. So rent is equal to 2,000 rupees. Now you have been added up with a fine of 700 rupees as well. So the new rent is rent plus 700 rupees. That is 2,700 rupees right over here. Okay. So if I'm running this, you will be able to see that I'm getting the answer as 2,700 rupees. Now the exact same stuff, I can do it in a much more shorthand manner as well. So writing rent is equal to rent plus 700, I can write the exact same, I can do the exact same thing by writing rent plus is equals to 700. Both of the lines, rent is equal to rent plus 700 and rent plus is equals to 700 means the exact same thing. So if I'm commenting this particular line out, okay, what do I mean by commenting a particular line out? So when you put up a hash in front of a line of code in Python won't run that line of code. Okay, what do you mean by comments in normal English? Can you guys let me know? What do you understand by comments in normal English, not related to Python? Okay, comments in normal English. For example, I'm giving you a piece of my work and I'm telling you what are your comments on this. What do you understand by the meaning of the word comments, guys, in normal English? Guys. Can you guys let me know what do you mean by the term comments in normal English, guys? A feedback. Okay, that is the describing something or a feedback for information. Okay, point of view, views. Telling or replying, okay, our thoughts are something that is absolutely correct. So comments are basically your own thoughts. These are not code. Okay, if you just write code, okay, you will get, like, when you are coming back to the code, you won't be able to understand shit. Okay, because a code will be reviewed like 5 years, 6 years after you have written it. You're coming back to the code, you will be like, dude, who the fuck coded this? Okay, was he so dumb? And then you'll realize that you were the person who coded it. Okay, this has happened many a times with me. Okay, so you put in comments so that at any point of time when you want to understand what is happening in this code, you are able to visit this particular comment section, this particular comments itself, and understand what is going on in your code. So when I'm commenting a particular line out, that line is now a English text. It is not a code anymore. It will not get executed. So if I'm running this particular line of code, you will be able to see that the answer still remains the same. That is 2,700 rupees. That is rent plus is equal to 700 rupees. That's the exact same thing as rent is equal to rent plus 700. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Good. So let's move on from right over here. I'm so sorry. Okay, so that has been done. Of course, you can also use other operations right over here. For example, rent is equals to rent minus 700 if you want to do. Okay, in that case it will be rent minus equals to 700. Okay, you will get the exact same answer, that is 1,300 right over here. But you do rent is equals to rent multiplied by 700. Okay, you have to do rent is equal to rent multiplied by 700. That will be rent multiplied equal to 700. So if you are running this, it will be like whatever the value is. Okay, then if you want to have rent is equal to rent divided by 700, you can do that. Just replace this by division. Okay, it will do that as well. It's not just for plus this addition, it's for every single operation that you want to perform. Okay, so let's move on from right over there as well. Again, we are having this question. Please make sure that after this bootcamp, we are coming back to the not sandbox, the collab notebook itself, and please try to complete it. Okay, this will help you guys out in the long run. Okay, please try to understand this. whatever I'm saying to you guys is for your own benefit, okay? Because as a senior, I am able to understand what are the things that will be helping you guys out throughout the entire journey of programming. So we are really interested to learn programming from the perspective of getting placed. Okay, just learning programming for the sake of learning programming as well, you will have to practice. But for getting placed, if that is your aim, then please start practicing as soon as possible. Okay. Okay, now we are going to come back to data types. As you have already seen, there are various different data, like kinds of data that we have seen. For example, when we were printing "Hello World," that was not numbers, that was just a text, okay, and that text was in inverted commas and quotation marks, okay, if you guys remember that. That is one kind of data that we have seen. We have seen that when we divide 2000 by 700 rupees, we get a number that is not quite a integer, it's a decimal number. We have seen this, integers as well. So all these different numbers that we are, all these different types of data that we have seen categorize themselves into different types, and these types are called as data types itself. We are going to learn about these data types right now. For example, integers, floats, booleans, strings, and once we are completed with data types, we'll be starting with data structures as well. So let's go on from right over here, guys. Okay. Don't judge anyone's health issues. It's not good. Did I say something wrong? I'm sorry for that. If I said something wrong, I don't realize it by speaking, but right. Okay, so let's continue from right over there, guys. Okay, so okay, integers and floats. So far, the numbers that we have dealt with are mostly whole numbers or integers, but you might have noticed some other type of numbers that do exist, that is decimal numbers itself. For example, right over here, if I'm dividing an integer by an integer, that is 3 divided by 2. Okay, if I am dividing a particular number, that is 3 divided by 2, 3 and 2 both are integers. Okay, 3 and 2 are both integers. So why are you taking this course so low? We think this way we will only learn the if-else statements and loops till our day 7. Vishal, Maurya, I have already shared the notes with you guys. You know what are the different stuff that we are going to learn. Okay, so along with that, if I take it fast, then it's great that you know all this stuff. Okay, I also know a lot of this stuff because I've been programming in Python for the past 6 years. For me, this is like teaching a child how to speak A, B, not even ABCD, okay, just like producing some sounds from his voice, from his throat. Okay, that is what I'm teaching to you right now. So yes, but there are many students in our class right now in our boot camp that don't know all these stuff as well. And if you don't have a solid foundation, okay, then whatever building that you are able to make on it, it will fall someday. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure that some of the foundation that is missing in you guys, that I'm able to concrete it. And for those students who are coming, like who don't know anything about programming as well, they feel comfortable while learning. I'm able to understand that you know a lot. I also know a lot. Okay, but it's our duty to make sure that we are not catering to any single human being right over here. The free bootcamp that everyone can take an advantage of. Okay, so we need to learn, and we need to, like as a community, we need to come together. Okay, if we are thinking on separate levels, then that won't help this community go any further. We'll always be stuck in the same cycle itself, and we don't want that. We want to grow, and if you want to grow, just focus upon the class. Okay. Great. So let's move on from right over there. So if I'm dividing an integer by an integer, I get a number that is a decimal number. This is called as floats, or floating point number in Python. Okay, you don't call this as decimal numbers, we call it as floats. Full form is floating point number in Python. Okay, so numbers with the decimal points is 3.14 are called as floating point numbers or floats. Even though the value 42 is an integer, even though the value 42 is an integer, 42.0 will be a floating point number. Okay, 42.0 will be the floating point number. And if two integers are divided, then also we get float as an answer. Okay. Okay, so let's continue from right over there, guys. Let's see. So we are having another inbuilt function in Python. Just like print is a function in Python, we are having type as a function in Python as well. it gives you guys the data type of an object in Python. Okay, what is the data type of an object in Python? You can get that by using the inbuilt function, that is type. For example, we are creating a variable called as a is equals to 3 and b is equals to 2.5. So if we are using type of a and type of b right over here, it will give us the data types of a and b. And as we are able to see, the data type of a is int, that is short form for integer numbers, and b is float, that is short form for floating point numbers itself. Okay. The next particular thing that we need to understand are operations between an int and a float. So if there is an int and a float involved, okay. So if you are having one integer number and one floating point number, even if you are doing addition, multiplication, division, subtraction, the answer would always be float. Okay, this is something that should be very clear with you guys. If there is an integer number and a floating point number, any kind of operation that you are performing on it will always result in a floating point number itself. But if there's an integer and if it's a float and a float, any kind of operation that you do on it will always result in a float. If it's an integer and an integer, except division. If you're doing division on an integer, even though the answer is integer, you will still get the answer as a floating point number itself. For example, 4 divided by 2 will be 2.0. 4 and 2 both are integers, but 2.0 is a floating point number. So division will always result in a floating point number only. But else, if you are performing addition, subtraction, or multiplication on integer and integer, then that will always result in an integer as well. Okay, so let's move on from right over there. Now, how can we convert an integer to a float and a float to an integer? That is also a question that we need to answer. Okay, that is also a question that we need to answer. So my answer for the question is wrong, then my attendance will be considered or not? No, your attendance won't be considered. You are absent because you didn't write the correct answer. That means you are either not in the class or you're not paying attention to me. So yeah. Prakhar Mishra, bhai smoking band kar de. I am an asthmatic patient. This is the proof for that. I cannot smoke. So yeah, my voice is like this naturally itself, and I cough or I have whatever I have because of the boon of this pump. Okay. Okay, so no issues in that. We'll continue. Sir, we are getting late for mess. No issues in that. Ask a friend to keep a thali for you down in the mess itself, or bring it to your room, or whatever the case is. If you want to continue into the boot camp, you can. Otherwise, there's nothing that I can do for you. Okay, separately, because I have to cater to everybody in general. Okay, so and I asked you guys for a time. 54% of you said 7:30. So I was like cool with it. Okay, no issues. I should respect the fact that we live in a democracy and we had a polling. I should respect that. So I continued with 7:30 itself. Okay. Okay, so float. Okay, so if you want to convert an integer, 3 is an integer number. Okay, 3 is an integer number. If you want to convert it into a float, you just write float and then in parentheses the number itself. It will be converted. It will just add 0.0 to it. It will just add 0.0 to it. So 3 will become 3.0. 3 will become 3.0. Okay, so as we are running this, able to see that 3 has become 3.0 right over here. Now 28.9 is a floating point number. 28.9 is a floating point number. If we want to convert it to an integer, you just have to write int in front of it. It will just remove everything after the decimal point. It does not does any kind of rounding. It truncates. There's a difference between rounding and truncate, which we learned in I think so 7th standard. Okay, so rounding means you're rounding it up to the nearest number or the lowest number, whatever the case is. Truncating means just cutting after that particular position. So we are truncating it after the decimal point. So whether it be 28.9, 28.5, 28.3, 28.1, 28.8, whatever the case is, it will, or the answer will always come back to 28. The answer will always come back to 28. Whatever is there after the decimal point will just be removed. It does not does any kind of rounding. It just truncates at the end. Okay, so if 28.9 was there, then our answer is 28 right over here. Okay. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Okay, now everybody who was saying that this is very basic, we already know this. This is one of the reasons why I start with the most basic stuff itself. This is what is going to make sure that do you understand stuff or not. Okay, this is what is going to make sure that you are able to understand why I'm taking stuff from basics and why I want you guys to have a good foundation. So this is a particular question that is being asked in interviews of Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Flipkart a lot, because this is something that is not being taught in any course. You only know this by two factors. Either you read books, okay, to gain knowledge, okay, good books, good quality books itself of these languages, or you have done a lot of practice, you have a lot of experience in Python. Only then you'll be knowing the answer to this question. Okay, so I've included this here because, like I said, this is more of an interview preparation stuff itself. That's the reason why I've included it right away here. This question is being asked everywhere, so please pay a lot of attention. Okay, even if you're not able to understand it, okay, just rote learn it so that you are able to spit it out in an interview itself. Okay, another point that you need to keep in mind is that floats are an approximation to the number they represent. Floats are not, so for example, if I'm writing 0.23, it's not exactly 0.23. It's a little bit greater than that, a very minute fraction greater than that. Okay, so let me try to make you guys understand this. For example, if I'm writing 0.23 right over here inside of Python, if I'm writing it if I'm saving a number as 0.23, that a is equals to 0.23, then in the memory it is getting saved as 0.23 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0, a little bit more zeros at the end, and then 1 2 3. Now this 1 2 3 is just an like an example. It's not exactly this, it's not exactly like what I've written right over here, but this is what the feel is. Okay, it's an approximation to the number it represents. It's not exactly 0.23, it's little bit greater than that, just a little bit greater than that. Okay, now you should take me at my word. Now first of all rote learn this. Floats are an approximation to the number they represent. Okay, first register it in your mind. If you want to be Gajni or something like that, just put a tattoo on your hand or something like that, whatever you want to do, first register this in your mind. Now you should not take my word as like the written in stone or something like that. We are programmers, we need to first check whether if Shah is speaking the truth or not. This is something that is totally new. This does not exist in any other language that I've seen. Why does it happen in Python? Okay, first, does it happen in Python, or he is just lying right over here? So first, let's go back and check. What we're going to do right now is we're going to add 0.23 30 times. Okay, we are going to add 0.23. Just a second, I need to put this fucker out of the live chat. Give me a second, guys. I don't know how these type of people like come up to the bootcamp. Like, haven't their parents taught them any values, any ethics in life? Dude, like, shit. Okay, so if my child becomes something like this, I'll personally take up into account that I will kill my child. Okay, I don't want these type of people in my family itself. Okay, so let's see right over here. You are having 0.23 added 30 times. Okay, 0.23 added 30 times right over here. Now, according to me, according to the normal English that we know, according to the normal English that I know, sorry, normal mathematics that I know, 0.23 added 30 times should be equivalent to 6.9. 0.23 added 30 times should be equivalent to 6.9. So what I'm doing right over here is on the left hand side, I'm having 0.23 added 30 times. On the right hand side, I'm having 6.9, and this is the equation that basically checks. Okay, so this double equal to sign basically assigns the right hand side to the left hand side. This double equal to sign, okay, checks whether the left hand side is equivalent to the right hand side or not. Okay, the left hand side is equivalent to the right hand side or not. That is what it checks. If it is equal, it returns true. If it is not equal, it returns false. Now, according to my hypothesis, according to my knowledge of mathematics, just mathematics, I will think that, okay, 0.23 added 30 times should be exactly equal to 6.9. It should return a true value. But when I'm running this, I'm getting false. That the left hand side is not equal to the right hand side. So I decide, okay, no issues in that. I'll check what the value is. Okay, I'll just remove this. I'll print what 0.23 added 30 times is. So if I'm running this, it comes up to be 6.9000000000006. It's a little bit greater than 6.9. But why is this the case? Why is this happening? Because floats are an approximation to the number they represent. What's happening right over here, guys, is that when you're writing 0.23 plus 0.23, okay, when you're writing 0.23 plus 0.23 in the memory, it's not 0.23. You are adding 0.230000000123 plus 0.23000000000123. Okay, these are the two numbers that you are adding right over here. And slowly and certainly, initially, Python will ignore these like last digit numbers. Okay, it will just ignore, okay, 0.23. Yeah, it's very small. We don't have to put it. We'll just write 0.23 itself. Okay, Python will just ignore it. But slowly and steadily, when you're adding to 0.23 30 times, you're adding 0.23 30 times, that small number at the end starts also piling up. It starts getting bigger and bigger to the extent when Python is not able to ignore it anymore. Where Python is not able to ignore it anymore. And that is the reason why our answer was not exactly equal to 6.9, but always a little bit greater than 6.9 itself. Okay, now we understood this. Okay, we understood this, that, okay, what is happening? We need to understand why it's happening. We'll be talking about this at a later point of time. But if I do the exact same thing, instead of writing 0.23 added 30 times, if I am writing print 0.23 multiplied by 30, print 0.23 multiplied by 30, what will be the answer? Will it be exactly 6.9 or a little bit greater than 6.9? Now we will be thinking like, yes, we just saw in addition that it is a little bit greater than 6.9, and multiplication is just a format of addition itself. Repeated addition, that is what you usually forget. You just think addition and you'll say that, yeah, it will be a little bit greater than 6.9, but that is where you are wrong. If you are running this particular line of code, you will be getting 6.9 as the answer and not something that is greater than 6.9. Now, why is this the case? Why is this the case? Because of one term that you miss, repeated addition. Multiplication is nothing else but repeated addition. When you use the word repeated, that means Python knows that the two numbers that you're going to add, okay, the numbers that you're going to multiply, this 0.23 30 times is 0.23 added 30 times itself. It already knows that the two numbers are the exact same number itself. All the numbers that I have to add are the exact same. Whereas here, Python will be first adding these two numbers, that will be 0.46. Then 0.46 is being added to 0.23. So Python does not know that we are adding the exact same number again and again. So it is not doing any kind of optimizations right over here. Whatever the last digits are, it is still adding them up as well. But right over here, because Python knows that you are going to add 0.23 30 times because it is repeated addition, Python does an optimization. Every time that it adds 0.23 to the previous number, okay, it removes all the decimal points. Whatever the decimal points is, that is 0.000000246. Okay, because two of them got added, we'll remove all of them and replace it with 0.0000123 once again. Every time it is doing the addition, every time it is changing the decimal numbers and replacing it with the default number, that is 123 at the end. It is not letting it increase itself. And that is the reason why it never gets greater than 6.9. Because Python is smart, it is able to do an optimization right over here. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Now, why does this happen? What happens? We have understood it. What happens? We have understood it. Why does this happen? That is something that we need to understand. I need to switch on the charger for my laptop, otherwise it will die. Give me a second, guys. Okay. So why does this happen? We need to understand that right now. Okay. So the concept that gets applied right over here is the concept of precision. Okay, the concept of precision. Now, precision is a particular topic that I hope so that you guys know. It's a concept in mathematics itself. But if you still don't understand what precision is, okay, it's up till how many decimal points can you give me the answer? That is called as precision. Okay, up till how many decimal points can you give me the answer? Okay, can you give me the answer to 6 decimal points? Can you give me the answer to 24 decimal points? Can you give me the answer to 36 decimal points? How many decimal points can you give me the answer to? For example, if I'm having two numbers, let's say that I'm having I had this stopped working. Okay, for example, if I'm having let's say 6 point, no, 6 point something that will be huge. 1.2 multiplied by 1.2, 6. Okay, I'm having two particular numbers, 1.2 multiplied by 1.26. Okay, so this is a question that we are having right over here. Let me just check it. 1.2 multiplied by 1.26, that is equivalent to 1.512. Okay, this is the answer that I should be getting. But right over here, I can get the answer only to 2 decimal points, because the largest number, the largest decimal number that I'm having is 1.26. Between the multiplication that I'm doing, 1.2 and 1.26, I can go only up till 2 decimal points. I cannot go any further than that. So the answer that I will be getting will be not 1.512. I will be getting just 1.51, because I can go only up till 2 decimal point. That is the precision of my question itself. My question is 1.2 multiplied by 1.26. The maximum precision that I can go is, according to the question, is up till 2 decimal points. So I cannot get the answer as 1.512. Rather, I will be getting the answer as 1.51. Only 1.51, because my precision is just 2 decimal points. So this is the only answer that I will be able to get, 1.51. I don't want that. I don't want that. That is the reason why Python stores the floating point numbers up till the maximum precision that it can handle. Till the maximum precision that it can handle right over there. Okay, so both the numbers will be stored according to the maximum precision that is there, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so that it is able to get the answer up till that many number of decimal points itself. Is able to get the answer up till that many number of decimal points. That is the use of precision. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. This is very important, guys. Very important. Okay, these are questions you won't be getting anywhere. Neither your teachers. Just go and ask your professor itself. Okay, they must not be even knowing about it, because this is not taught anywhere. Okay, and this is something that will be asked in the interview, and students are like, hey, dude, like we had to study this as well, and we didn't knew about it. It's not about knowing it. Okay, it's about like do some research, talk to people who have got placed somewhere. Okay, you'll be able to understand a lot of different stuff that goes on in an interview. Okay, great, man, amazing. You guys are amazing. Almost everybody understood it. Amazing, guys. Okay, so let's move on to the next particular topic, guys. Division by zeros and errors. So what happens if you divide a number by 0 in Python? Okay, so anytime that you get some awkward questions like this, that for example, what will happen if I do this? What will happen if I do that? But the best things about programming is that you can try it out. Just open up Google Colab, try it out. Let's see what happens. And then you'll figure out why it happens, how it happens, whatever the case is. So right over here, if I want to check that what happens if I divide a number by 0, I'll just write print 4 divided by 0. Let's run this. So as you're able to see, we are getting 0 division error. Okay, that is division by 0. Okay, you are getting an error right over here. Okay, so these type of things you need to take care of. These type of things you need to take care of. Okay. Mohit Khawade, if you type it again, I'll make sure that you are not getting the certificate. Okay, I've already made sure that whatever you want to handle it according to the timing 7:30 to 9. That is the timing of the boot camp. Mess timings are usually for 2 hours. You go and eat before the class itself. I cannot help with that. Ask your friend to keep a thali for you in mess. We cannot do anything. The class timings will always remain the same. You're not paying for these classes, dude. Like it's just free. Like हिंदी में बोले तो कुछ मर्यादा रखो क्लास का. Have some respect for the class that you are in. Okay. So you're getting an error right over here. That is the zero division error. We have already seen one more error back then. This syntax error, if you guys remember. So this is another kind of error that we are having right over here. Okay. So what was programming doing when it broke? This part is usually less helpful when than the last line of your error. Okay. Though you can take to blah 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 blah. Okay. In general, there are two types of errors to look out for. There are two types of errors that are there: exceptions and syntax. Okay, syntax error we have already seen, and this is one of the exception that we saw right now. An exception is a problem that occurs while the code is running. Okay, while the code is running, there's some problem that occurred. Okay, and that is called an exception error. But a syntax error is a problem detected by Python when it checks the code before running it. So let's try to understand it. There's something that is called as grammar. Okay, there's something that is called as grammar out there. So before running the code itself, Python will first read through the code. It will not understand it. It will just read through the code. Achha, okay, this is what you have written. Okay, great. Okay, this looks like a spelling mistake. Okay, this looks like something that is not grammatically correct. Even without understanding the code, it will give you a syntax error. It has not run the code yet. It will give you a syntax error. Okay, your code is shit. Okay, just do it again. Write it again. That is a syntax error. An exception happens when there is no syntax error. Now Python is like, okay, now I've read it. It has no syntax errors. The grammar is absolutely fine. Now I'll start understanding it. I'll start implementing it. I'll start running it itself. At that particular point of time, whatever like problems that you're having, for example, division by zero error, that's a kind of an exception error itself. That happens when the code is running. When the code is running. Okay. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. The guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Okay, we're still not able to understand it. Just read through this English. The notes have been provided to you guys. It's not that hard to understand. We've already dealt with these errors, so I don't think so. There's a lot more to understand it. But anyhow, if you want to understand it, okay, if you want to like go into a little bit more depth, you can just click on this particular link. You can go there. There's a lot of other information that I've added right over here inside the notes. Okay, try to make sure that you are going there. You are reading a bit more. You are exploring a bit more on your own as well. That will help you out in the future. Okay. Okay. The next particular thing is Boolean data type comparison and logical operators. Okay. Boolean data type comparison and logical operators itself. Okay, so I think so. For today, we should just keep it up till here itself. I don't want to overburden you because there were some new topics that I introduced to you itself. Video data types is extremely easy. That will be very easy to cover as well. Right now, I'll just be writing the question for your today's attendance. Okay, give me a second, guys. I'm just going to display capture. I'm just switching it off. You will be able to see me right over here. I just make myself a little bit bigger as well. So, yo. And okay, I don't like myself a lot big. Like I was fine a little bit small itself. No issues in that. I'll just create the attendance for you guys right now. So today's question, what should be today's questions? Let us think about it. What have you studied? Let me just see that first of all. From that, I'll be able to take out some example that I used. Okay. Good questions. I had a good question in my mind. Now I have forgotten about it. Hmm. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. The question should be something that is like ki, when the student sees the question and he's like, yeah, I've not attended the class, he should not be able to figure out like what is the answer itself. I'll like think out something that's like totally different. Okay. Oh, the people think that I look like Karim. Actually, like I'm 6 feet and I'm like 90 kgs as well. And Karim is like 5 feet and 20 kgs, I think. Like even my dog is heavier than him. No issues in that. Okay. What do I do? I'll just create a question. Okay. Okay, one thing I'm making it very clear. While learning, okay. So one thing I'm making it very clear, as soon as I'm showing the QR code, you have just 10 minutes to fill up the QR code itself. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, that's all that you have. Okay, maximum 15, but if you want to be on the safer side, you have 10 minutes to fill the attendance. If you're not able to fill the attendance in the next 10 minutes, you're not going to get the attendance for today. I'll be closing the attendance form directly. Okay, so you have 10 minutes to fill the attendance form up. Just 10 minutes. Okay, nothing less, nothing more. Please remember that you have 10 minutes to fill up the attendance form. If you're not filling the attendance form in the next 10 minutes, you are not going to get the like attendance. Okay, I will be closing the attendance form itself. And if you're losing the attendance, you are not going to get the certificates as well. So please remember this. Okay, guys. Please remember this, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. You have 10 minutes to fill the attendance form up, guys. After I've shown the QR code, if you're not able to fill up the attendance form up till then you're not going to get the attendance itself for that day, guys. Please understand this. Good. Okay, so the question has been created. Required question. Responses, accepting responses, send link, QR, copy QR. You have 10 minutes to fill up the attendance form, just 10 minutes. So please, if you're not filling up the attendance form in the next 10 minutes, you're not going to get the attendance for today. Okay, 10 minutes is more than sufficient to just scan the QR code and fill up a simple form that you have already filled up twice. And if you have attended the bootcamp, you will already know the answer for the question as well. So as soon as I'm showing the QR code, I'll be ending the session as well. Okay, so keep that in mind. So let me switch on the display. Let me make myself again small so that you guys are not facing any kind of problem while seeing the QR code. Otherwise, you will be, sir, QR code nahi dikh raha. And I will be like, okay, no issues, no issues. Fine, cool. This is the QR code for today, guys. You guys can go ahead, take a screenshot, pause the video, whatever you want to do. You have 10 minutes to fill up the form itself, guys. I'll be ending the class live right now. We'll be meeting tomorrow at the same time at 7:30. And at 6, we'll be having our Dusara boot camp. So please be ready for that as well. Thank you so much and have a great day. Thank you.